House of the Dragon concluded after a hugely successful series, and the shocking events of the season finale had fans very excited for the second season. Although the second season was greenlit before it aired, filming has yet to begin, with the show's co-creator and executive producer Ryan Condal revealing that it will return to filming in early 2023. Without giving too much away of the events of the first season, it looks like the Dance of the Dragons, a part of George R.R. Martin's novel Fire and Blood that follows the Targaryen Civil War, will begin in earnest. In the final moments of the first season, Rhaenyra is informed of the death of her son, Lucerys, at the hands of Aemon and his dragon, and it's clear from the look on her face that she intends to proceed cautiously rather than starting a war. It was officially over. Sequels are one of the most infuriating things fans of fantasy action thrillers have come to expect, especially for Game of Thrones fans who have big unanswered questions to deal with when it comes to Jon Snow. It's been confirmed that a Jon Snow sequel is in the works, but it's still very early days for the upcoming project. Speaking about the show on his website, author George R.R. Martin wrote, "Yes, there is a Jon Snow show in development. It was Kit Harington who brought the idea to us. I cannot tell you the names of the writers and showrunners since that has not been cleared for release yet, but Kit brought them in too, his own team, and they are terrific. Since the show doesn't even officially have a title yet, we might have a while to wait." With Jon Snow's sequel series allowing him to answer remaining questions about Targaryen history, the mystery may finally be solved. So in today's video, we're going to tell you how Jon Snow's sequel could solve the mystery of House of the Dragon's Daemon. But before that, if you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button for more entertaining videos and press the bell icon to get the latest updates every time we drop something new. Jon Snow's untitled Game of Thrones sequel remains as elusive as ever. Though it's still apparently in pre-production, Kit Harington, who plays Jon Snow, is keeping a low profile on the project. Game of Thrones concluded its 8-season run in 2019. Its ending was heavily criticized, with many saying the show lost track of its pace and character in the name of surprises and cheap surprises. HBO, however, decided to persevere with the franchise and release several spin-offs set in the world of Westeros, including House of the Dragon. Apparently, Kit Harington himself approached George R.R. Martin and the network about this Jon Snow project, and the details surrounding the plot of the spin-off, including any possible character returns, save Emilia Clarke, who has already confirmed she's done playing Daenerys Targaryen, are unknown at this time. What's more, Harington stopped by Josh Horowitz's Happy Sad Confused podcast and refused to give away any details. Harington referenced Ygritte's, portrayed by Rose Leslie, Harington's real-life wife, famous line, "You know nothing, Jon Snow." When asked about the show, Harington said, "The only thing I'll say is that I know nothing about it." Though Horowitz pressed him for a more specific answer, even bringing up that Martin himself has commented on the show, Harington remained mum. "George is allowed to talk. I would be talking in riddles if I went any further," Harington said. Speculation abounds as to the mystery spin-off's plotline. Interestingly, House of the Dragon has brought up the prince that was promised prophecy from the original A Song of Ice and Fire books, which was not in the Game of Thrones adaptation. The prophecy states that the hero will save the world from the White Walkers, will be born of Aegon the Conqueror's blood. As seen in Game of Thrones, however, the characters who ended the Long Night was Arya Stark, who is certainly not of the House Targaryen established when Aegon Targaryen conquered Westeros. Jon Snow's Game of Thrones sequel series could finally solve a mystery regarding his ancestor, Daemon Targaryen's dark sister sword following House of the Dragon. House Targaryen now has 3 known ancestral Valyrian weapons, including Aegon the Conqueror's sword, Blackfire, the Valyrian steel dagger engraved with Aegon's Song of Ice and Fire dream, and Queen Visenya's sword, Dark Sister. While Daemon Targaryen possesses Dark Sister in House of the Dragon, the sword's whereabouts became a significant mystery after the disappearance of its last owner. With Jon Snow's sequel series allowing him to answer leftover questions regarding Targaryen history, the mystery could finally be solved. Dark Sister was last seen at the Wall approximately 50 years before the end of Game of Thrones, as she was last owned by King Aegon IV Targaryen's bastard son, Brynden Rivers, aka Bloodraven. Brynden took on the Black after murdering Aenys Blackfire, soon becoming Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. When Bloodraven disappeared beyond the Wall in 252 AD, it was assumed he brought Dark Sister with him. After Bloodraven disappeared, Dark Sister was lost but presumed to still be in the north. Since Jon Snow's Game of Thrones spin-off will likely see him travel beyond the Wall and wrestle with his Targaryen identity, the iconic character could finally reclaim his ancestral Valyrian sword. While still wielded by Prince Daemon Targaryen, Dark Sister will be featured in several iconic moments of House of the Dragon. Dark Sister was already used by Daemon to behead the crab feeder and also Vaemon Valyrian. But these moments won't come close to the shocking way the rogue prince uses the Valyrian steel sword for the last time. While Daemon dies in House of the Dragon at the battle above the God's Eye, which occurs toward the very end of the Dance of the Dragons, after evading one another for some time, Daemon and his nephew Aemon One-Eye Targaryen finally meet over the lake at Harrenhal and duel with their dragons. Brynden River's disappearance in the north could be a perfect link between House of the Dragon's prophecy and Jon Snow's fulfillment of Aegon's dream in Game of Thrones. Bloodraven is implied to be the original three-eyed raven in Game of Thrones books, having been a green seer who passed the identity to Bran Stark. As a base-born Targaryen, Bloodraven is also likely a dragon dreamer, which may explain why he disappeared beyond the wall. Brynden might have dreamed of the White Walkers and learned that they were created by the Children of the Forest, suggesting he also discovered their secret connection to Aegon's Song of Ice and Fire prophecy. Since Brynden disappeared while ranging beyond the wall, the Targaryen sword could be near the tree where he lived as the Three-Eyed Raven. Bloodraven likely foresaw the White Walkers attacking soon, so he may have stayed north in order to defend the living and use magic to keep the White Walkers at bay. If Brynden knew that Valyrian steel could kill White Walkers, he may have brought Dark Sister with him to help fulfill Aegon's prophecy. Perhaps Bloodraven saw an additional threat in the north that requires Aegon's prophesied prince that was promised, aka Jon Snow, to wield Dark Sister and destroy it in Game of Thrones sequel series. As the last living Targaryen, Jon Snow / Aegon Targaryen is rightfully owed the inheritance of his family, which includes Daemon's sword, Dark Sister. Considering Brynden Rivers was most likely a dragon dreamer, Jon finding Dark Sister would be yet another connection to his role in the prophecies of House Targaryen. Jon, being the prince that was promised, wasn't fully reckoned with in Game of Thrones ending, so his sequel series could have dived deeper into how he continues to carry on House Targaryen's legacy and Aegon the Conqueror's dream. Finding Dark Sister would not only augment Jon's prophetic legitimacy as a Targaryen, but it would also give him a deeper connection to House of the Dragon's Daemon Targaryen and the original Three-Eyed Raven. Perhaps Jon Snow finds that he has also inherited the Targaryen ability of dragon dreams and is led north to the location of Dark Sister. Dragon dreams have been one of the defining traits of House Targaryen's presence in Westeros, so it would be fitting for the last Targaryen to inherit this gift in order to recover Daemon's missing Valyrian steel sword after Game of Thrones. HBO hasn't even officially announced the Jon Snow show. This means that despite Harrington and others talking about it, there's a chance it won't ever happen. When it first broke that this show might be in the works back in June, The Hollywood Reporter said the sequel was in early development. Basically, that means HBO is exploring what it could be like, probably seeing who could write, direct, and star in it, and find out if they really have a story to tell. Now that House of the Dragon, the first Game of Thrones spin-off, has proven to be a hit, it's likely that HBO will officially order Jon Snow's sequel series. But even if the show does end up happening, don't expect it to come out until House of the Dragon Season 2. There's absolutely no way it will come out in 2023, and probably not in 2024 either. That's it for today. Let us know your views in the comments below. Click the like button if you enjoyed the video, and share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe.